Howdy, it is I, Junk, back again so soon. Well, actually, it wasn't that soon. It's been a minute. And I'll try to not let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I want this to get out today. It's Sunday. And I know it'll be late Sunday by the time I get it all together. So I'm going to just try to roll with this, and you'll get it as raw as it is with all my ums and ahs and mistakes and whatever. How are you doing? Please tell me in the comments. I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. You know how it is. Every day with a ongoing illness is tough, and some days are tougher than others, but I'm making it. I'm making it the best of it. So, obviously, a lot to talk about. Here we are in 9.2. You and I, right now, are sitting in 9.2. And lots of topics. I think the first one that everyone is waiting to hear from me on, the big one, let's not wait too much longer, is the laser nerf, because I was such a laser behemoth fan. As you can see, I've got the Reaper over here on the right, and we've got our laser behemoth here on the left. So let's talk about the big picture, and then let's look a little bit at what actually happened that we didn't necessarily expect was going to happen. I think big picture, here's my takeaway. It is a nerf. A nerf is a nerf, right? It is a far less dominant weapon. It is much tougher to use in a lot of situations. I think, though, the changes to the cadence, I would call, of play mean that lasers are no longer a melee option, which may be what they were going for. I do think they're still very strong in that sniper role. They aren't as strong as the Reaper, but they're very strong, and they can be very effective. And there are some situations where they can outperform the Reaper against fast-moving targets especially. So I can understand that for the smaller robots, ones that are going to be in melee situations more often, or ones that just, have less firepower, the nerf is going to kill the viability of lasers. I think the laser emoji is probably kind of going to be off the table unless they change things. I think the laser behemoth is still here, but let's take a look at what they said they were going to do and what they actually did. Okay, so here we have a side-by-side window. Fancy, high-quality iPad stuff. The left is a screenshot from my last video where we were looking at the test server changes, and the right is the list of balance changes that actually went in. And if you look on the left, time to overheat decreased, time to start cooldown increased, and cooldown speed decreased. I think all that did happen. Those are all three of them are nerfs. But then on the right, in terms of the actual balance changes that went in, there's one more. Damage per particle. Get the magic keyboard here. Damage per particle increased by 10%. So there was a nerf and a buff. And one thing I told you when people were freaking out about the test server changes is just be aware, they don't always go through. Sometimes what happens is different. Sometimes they change what they end up doing. And I think this is an example of they put a straight nerf in. They decided that was making them not viable, so they added the 10% damage per particle. They play a lot more like Prisma's used to. I haven't played Prisma since because the nerf there went through and seems to be kind of brutal. But in terms of the lasers, they play a little bit more like Prisma's did, where you had really good punch up front, and as that decay increased, you ended up with the dry firing and the Prismas that ended up making them not viable. With the lasers, you just end up with, they stop doing damage, basically. So they are viable still on a behemoth. They're not, obviously Reapers are better. And in this video, we're going to be looking at a lot of Reaper play. So let's get back to the hangar. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about here is this leaderboard. Ultimate Madness. And as you can see, down here in the bottom right corner, I've won the Ultimate Pulsar. So that should put me 1 for 4 on getting the 4 Pulsars to get this task, the Ultimate Ares task, right? Except it says 0 of 4. When I first won it, it said 1 of 4, and then it went back to 0 of 4, so I put in a ticket just in case. Here's the thing I want to talk about. This Ultimate Spectre here. I didn't crunch the numbers hard, but like my basic back of the envelope math was, I spent about 1 million gold to get this and to level it, not including the Dorito tokens, because as you can see there were a lot of Dorito tokens involved. It was about $250 out the door, US currency, to get this and level it. Okay, to get the Ultimate Pulsar for this Ultimate Madness event, with about 1,000 of the points coming from game, I play a lot of games. I still had to spend about $120 to get the ultimate Pulsar, which I haven't managed to mark 3. I don't have enough Dorito tokens right now. So, if it was 250 all in to get the ultimate Spectre out the door, but 120 to get one of the 4 weapons for the ultimate Ares you get from the event, I'm going to end up spending a lot more on the Ares than I did on the Spectre. And the funny thing is, I think they're doing it this way with leaderboards to make the argument that, oh, well, now free-to-play people have a shot at it because you can just earn towards it, and it's not chance-based. Yeah, that's true. But the amount of money it takes is going to be ridiculous. And you could make the argument, well, you could do it through gameplay. I would say you actually can't, right? You get 15 points for winning a battle. Okay, you need 5,000. Right? Well, let's just do a little math here. Okay. Let's say it takes you 7 minutes to play a game, right? And let's say you have a 50% win ratio, which is what the game is trying to push you towards. I think most of us tend to hover around there. You're going to need 334 games. You have to win 334 games to get that ultimate Pulsar. If you play a 7-minute game and you play non-stop for the 3 days you have the leaderboard, I'm saying you don't eat, sleep, or drink, don't go to the bathroom, you don't take a breath, you just go game every 7 minutes, you could play 617 games in that time. So with a 50% win ratio, you're not going to get it. So the only way to get this is to have a better than 50% win ratio and play without eating, sleeping, drinking, or using the restroom. There's no practical way to do this as free-to-play. So, yeah. This is just pay to win, and they've actually made it more expensive. With the veneer of, oh, but you can play to get there. Immeasurably dishonest from Pixonic, and the fact they're doing this starts to make me really think the game is circling the drain. I know we say that over and over again, but I'm really thinking this is starting to have the veneer of we're going to extract every penny from the whales, and once we've done that and there's nowhere else to go, we say, oh, we're going to announce we're going to shut down in 6 months. And that may have been their plan, but the fact they're going through with it is astonishing considering War Robots Frontiers is dead. It's dead on arrival. So what are they trying to do? It's like they've launched a second Dino Squad, and they're out, or whatever they call their game, who nobody cares. It's not good, man. I don't like it. All of that said, how is the ultimate Pulsar? Pulsar is different than the Orkin, because the Orkin you can really see it working. Pulsar, I don't know. It's very tough when you only have one of them anyway, to be sure. I'm sure with 4 of them it'll be better, but the Orkin is certainly it's just a better weapon than the Pulsar, and that's maybe not a reflection of the ultimate tuning, just a reflection of the intrinsic nature of the weapon. But we'll see. I may be underestimating it. It does look pretty. I think we can agree with that. It's a nice looking skin. Although let's also just take a moment while we're here. And this Arachnid Invader is a great looking skin. I love all the little battle damage details, the pitting on the legs, the lost paint on the outer edges. It looks like a well-worn toy or a well-worn robot in this case. Awesome texture. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't have the Ophion yet. I find the Ophion is an interesting name to go to. And which is it in the? Is it here? Where they give it to you? Yeah. Ophion, looking in the darkest of corners. The mythology. It's sort of. I mean, you could call it Greek, but it's really like pre-Greek mythology incorporated into Greek mythology. The first Titans, Eurynome. Well, the first Titan, Eurynome, dances upon chaos and creates wind, and from the wind she creates Ophion, the primordial snake. Eurynome turns into a bird and lays an egg. Ophion coils around the egg until it hatches. And 3 more Titans are born from the egg. One of them is Gaia, and they build the earth. And Eurynome and Ophion rule from Olympus as the first Titans. Ophion claims sole credit for creation. And your enemy reacts to that by just pimp slapping him and slaps the teeth out of his mouth. The teeth fall into the earth, and from his teeth arise men. Ultimately, your enemy and Ophion would both be pimp slapped out of Olympus and descend to Tartarus, and yada yada yada. Greek mythology happens. The next Titans come in, and then those Titans are replaced by the gods and whatever. So it's interesting that we have a guy whose resume is his wife slapped his teeth out of his face, and then someone else slapped him and his wife out of their home. Very intimidating. And I'm guessing maybe the things that are surround him when he's in the air are supposed to be his teeth. I don't know. Trying to overthink the mythology on this is probably a mistake. As I said, I don't have one yet. I'm thinking it's interesting that they're introducing it because the thing of it is this. We've got this super stealth meta now, and so putting a flying robot with an absorber back into the lineup does make me think now there might be a reason to think about Shield Breaker. And like the pilot, is it this pilot or the one for the Lynx? There's one that gives you, yeah, it must be the new Lynx pilot that gives you quantum radar when you use the ability. Sorry, I'm hopping around here looking for that pilot. Yeah, you get quantum radar when the ability is active on Lynx. So it's kind of a little thoughtful game design here. God, I hate saying something nice about something Pixonic does, but it physically hurts. But there is some thoughtful game design here where you hard flip the whole meta into stealth. So everyone has to have quantum radar. You introduce a meta robot with an absorber shield, and then you introduce a pilot that lets you not have to use quantum radar. So that kind of rock, paper, scissors of robot design is going to come into play where you can actually see the upside to putting Shield Breaker back on some of your robots, even though almost everything you encounter is going to be stealthed. And right now there's not enough Ophions in the world to worry about it. If they increase more, I could see putting Shield Breaker back on Angler, because Angler could, in theory, use its ability to evade stealth or to evade damage from stealth robots till their stealth ability ends, and you can sort of dance like that. Who knows? I mean, usually speaking, I've got a slot that's just for fun anyway, so maybe I'll throw something in there. But yeah. A couple more things to mention here. People have asked me, what do I think about the Mars nerf? I haven't played it yet to know. I know that in facing the Mars, I haven't felt that the diminished turret speed when it's detached has made it less dangerous or less damaging. I'm sure maybe objectively it is, but it doesn't really feel that way. So, yeah, it's a big shrug right now. Maybe when I play it, I'll feel less capable with the nerf, but right now, it hasn't changed how I counterplay Mars at all because the turret hurts just as much. One of the buffs I haven't tried yet is Bulwark getting a 10% buff to both of its shield forms, and we're going to see in the games we play today that someone does use a Bulwark to my great advantage. So yeah, both games we played today are the Reaper Behemoth showcase. I didn't mark 3 the Reapers, partially because I wanted those Dorito tokens for the Ultimate Editions, partially because, just as a matter of economy and common sense, generally speaking, don't mark 3 anything that could have a special edition coming. It's rare that I'll make exceptions to that. One time I did make an exception was, I don't have it in the lineup because it's not that great of a robot. The Lynx. I marked 3 the Lynx because the activation threshold for the Executioner, the Ferocity they call it here, the activation threshold for Ferocity went up to 25%, I think from 20, it might have been from 15 even, but that was like, alright, that's worth the 3 Doritos to me to have that going. But that's pretty uncommon. So yeah, the games today we're going to see are Reaper Behemoth games. They're both in Castle, which is a great map, as you know, for this kind of sniping. And it's it's an interesting introduction, I guess, to the different cadence and different target valuation for the Reaper Behemoth. And we'll see how it plays sometimes the same, sometimes differently than the Laser Behemoth. I would say mostly differently. You are more vulnerable most of the time, and you benefit from being exposed less of the time. With the Laser Behemoth, your exposure, I mean, people didn't want to be in front of you as much either, because you could do sustained damage over time. With the with the Reaper Behemoth, you've got to kind of pick your shots and angles and try to move around a little bit. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out in the gameplay. We'll see a little bit of a teammate playing Bulwark, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, we are here on Castle. I've got two big boys in the hangar, and it's the Reaper that gets the nod. It's the stronger of the two right now. The Laser is still very strong. Not as strong as it once was, of course, and the cadence of how it fires has changed. Didn't ever used to have Skyros rolling up to me successfully, and now I've gotten taken out by Skyros twice, so that's different. Looking around at the clan tags, I see we've got very strong clans. Obviously, Gods is very strong, and he is in a great melee bot, so I feel pretty okay here with the Behemoth Reaper. If you look around and you see a lot of other snipers and you're in a sniper, play aggressively, get blown up, and get into something else very quickly, or else your team is going to just lose because no one's contesting the beacons. There's a Mars, I can't do anything about him, but I see there's a big team fight in center, and oh, look at that. A Feather Destroyer. He can't go up, so he goes down very easily. I'm trying to find a new target here in center, but they are falling so quickly because my teammates are so brutally efficient. I get nothing. I end up having a clip. I see... I can't tell what that is, but it's there's another Behemoth over there, and I'm getting shot at by a Siren? Yeah. And that Siren goes up and goes down. He is the second bird I've taken out this morning in the castle. Looking around to see, we're getting... Alright, we've got 3 beacons to their 1. We're contesting their home. There's a little convention going on up top, and my concern when I see something like this is, if you're at the top beacon on castle, you can see across the other top beacon. They can see, then, if there's anybody up there to contest it. I try to get another kill there, I turn around, I don't see any clan tags showing up. So I say, okay, I better get up there. If nothing else, then I can take some shots at the people coming across the bridge, maybe. But I get up here, and they're not showing a lot of interest in what's going on over here. Because it turns out they've got a big problem there in their home, which I guess the one exception is if you're all focused on home, you're not looking over here, although there's a laser emoji taking some shots at me. And let's remember this guy's name, because we'll be seeing him later. But first, Harpy goes up, and 3 birds cooked so far. Here is that emoji shooting at me now. Well, he will be in a second. If I'd had the Laser Behemoth turn on the quantum radar, I can just cook him evenly and easily from the air. I managed to just nick him a few times, so he lands, and now he's in a rough position. Don't take off if you don't know where you're going to land, is good advice. You can't go up, you can't go down, I'll get him either way. He takes some shots back at his home, so I come down and take him out. And that Shahan 101 guy, remember that name, we're going to be seeing him later. Hey, that Behemoth I couldn't identify, it looks like Punchers. And now it looks like nothing. I walk back up here towards the top, and oh, look at that. It's not a Titan. It's an almost Titan, the Minos. I'll take that, thank you very much. Shahan, the guy who was in the emoji, comes rolling across now in a Skyros. Great matchup for me. I manage only to get him halfway down. My teammate comes in to contest the beacon in the Typhon. Looks like Pulsars and not strong enough against his melee weapons. I'm a slow walker, but his shield's doing a lot of the work here to keep him going. Looks like he's lost a weapon too. So he's just going to poke at me with what he's got. Not enough. Take him out. But he managed to flip the beacon, so he drops in. And what does he drop in with? A mostly Prisma Crisis. 3 Prismas and 1 Reaper. Of all the bots you could drop in to contest a close-up beacon, why would you drop that one? Particularly since he was in the emoji, so he knows, or should know, I have quantum radar. So he drops into a nether, and the nether is neither going to survive because that was another odd matchup if you're going to play it that way. So that's 3 bots he lost trying to take this top beacon. My teammate, very strong. He's not going to be able to do much in the face of a Titan, possibly 2 Titans down there, and a Lynx in his back. And there's not much I can do to save him. Yeah, there's that Shahan guy now in a bubble ether. I managed to nick him a few times there. And I see there's an Indra over there, but I couldn't quite see the weapons. Another Feather Destrier. Easy feed for me. I'm just sort of peeking over the corner. Okay, so he's got the Mahavajra on top, bubbles on the sides, this Indra. Doesn't have enough health. I don't think he's going to be able to do much of anything coming over here, but he's going to try. Valiant effort. I take a chunk, but I don't get the kill there. But teammates fortunately do. Shahan guy decides I haven't blown up enough of his robots yet. He wants to give me another shot at it. So anytime, man. Anytime. I try to take out a Lynx here for my teammates, get it down to the last stand, but that's about it. And so I'm starting to have the sense they may be meching a little bit. It looks like it's 5-on-4 right now, but we've doubled them up on the beacon bar, but they've got the beacon advantage right now. Trying to just take the top off of that luchador, but it's clever. So looking at this map, I think I've probably got to drop down soon and try to shoot, because that pipe is doing a lot of work blocking my shots across. And yeah, I can't do anything about that ether where he's hiding, so there's not much I can do, but oh, here we go. I can try to get a little luchador. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I don't have that, thank you very much. In the course of my wandering over, I sort of dropped down anyway, so things worked kind of how I thought they were going to work. Get a little damage on the nether over there. Looking around, who am I missing? Because I see there's one guy on top. There's 2 guys on the bridge, or there were 2 guys on the bridge. Oh, there's the guy I'm missing. And wouldn't you know it, Shahan in his ether shooting down at me. Finally takes me out. So now it's 3-1. That's fair. That's fair. Speaking of 3-on-1, it's 3-on-5 right now. They've got 3 players. We've got 5. We've got the beacon bar advantage and the beacon advantage. A Feather Destrier valiantly decides to be the next roasted chicken on the menu. I've got bigger problems. Or solutions, anyway. Yeah, normally speaking, dropping a Fenrir like this onto a beacon to defend it would be a great, very strong move, but the one time that isn't true is when there's 2 rooks on it first. That is going to be the game, ending with a 5 cap, ending strong. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. First place, 12 kills, 2 beacons, 5.7 million. If you look down there, the guy in Gods, 7.7 million and 4 beacons. He was really the MVP here, but the scoring system is such that the sniper gets the nod. That said, to be fair to the practice of sniping and myself, the area denial, something like a Behemoth Reaper creates, is a big factor in how well you can contain enemies, and how well you can contain them is really functionally how well you can maintain a beacon advantage. So, yes, I think he should have been number 1, but let's not completely discount the value of good sniping and how good sniping changes the melee game. All right, with that, let's get into the next one. Okay, we are here on Castle, and let's go with our Reaper Behemoth. And right away, I see I got somebody snuggling me, and usually when someone snuggles me, it's because they're upset that I'm sniping. But there's something else going on here, and it takes me a minute to figure it out. My teammate, Alex Rogers here, is going to be the real MVP of this game, because that right there, that you're seeing him in, that's a bulwark. He was giving me his shield, and he's going to continue to give me his shield. And as he does so, you're going to see people start to shoot at him, and he'll switch shields. He is actually playing smart, high-level team war robots. So shout out to Alex Rogers. Like, you are amazing. You are the real MVP here. And if there were more players like you, I would be a lot less toxic, because I wouldn't have anything to be toxic about. You are my absolute favorite. Was that a siren? Looks like. Playing a little peekaboo with me and Alex here. Alex keeping the damage off of me. And corner shooting, the last resort of scoundrels. Get a few shots in there on what looked like an angler, like a special edition angler maybe. And I've got a crazy teammate who is up there mixing up with 3 of them. Let's see, my teammates are now going to fan towards the home beacon. Managed to get one of the limited edition anglers. Not sure he expected me to look in his direction. And I see there's a Mars coming up. I'm trying to stay behind this pillar because I know there's people who could shoot down at me if they wanted to. So I'm trying to limit the angles of fire they have. I thought I was going to get that Fafnir. Only get him down. He managed to get in the air at the right time. This angler I don't think realizes his cover of the rock is just setting him up for me. That's 2 anglers I've taken out. I'll give myself half credit for that Fafnir. I deserve something. And I'm waiting to get some shots on this Reaper, but I see Typhon dropping in. Give him something to think about. Very brave with the Pulsars there. A 3rd angler? Do I get a 3rd angler? No, I don't. I just take half of him out. I don't remember this game that well. I'm rewatching it now. Oh! Feather Destrier drops in, immediately gone. It's hard to be the Feather Destrier in this meta. There we go. There's my 3rd angler on a rampage. And the Kepri sliding down where I can't quite reach it. The Typhon sticks his head out, and my clip is empty. He is winning at this game of peekaboo because I'm not taking him out. Ooh! That has got to be the lowest health behemoth I've ever seen. Man, I apologize to whoever I stole that kill from. Another bird in the air? Well, I don't mind if I do. Wow, he survived. And something is crawling up on me. Probably a Skyros? Yeah, probably a Skyros. There's a Skyros. Crawling up on me, and I empty my clip. He gets to empty some of his, but my teammates, good on them, taking him out. His teammates, crawling up, but not feeling as brave as they once did. Let's see. Oh, Typhon. That Typhon I've been playing peekaboo with. Oh, the Lynx coming in, and my quantum radar off cooldown right now. There we go. He was fast, but he was in a straight line. It didn't help him too much. We've got a beacon bar disadvantage, a beacon disadvantage. I'm still feeling pretty good. Teammate erases a Kepri there. See, they couldn't come across the bridge and give me some free shots. Managed to nick a little bit of the Indra. Looked like I gave him something to think about, and he phased. Can I get some shots on the Nether? I hit him once, I think. So right now, they're probably thinking they have the advantage. I don't feel that way. Take a Harpy all the way down to its last stand. Teammates are going to finish the job? Yeah, good. Ooh. This is bad news for Fenrir. But, let's see. Let's just take the Fenrir out. And one less thing to deal with. Now we can focus on this Indra that's trying to creep around the side. I don't normally spend this long in the I like to go top when I'm sniping usually. You get a little bit more interesting view, but the way they're attacking from the bridge, I get better shots here. The Indra just setting himself up to get shot in the belly there. And finally, that Typhon has needed to get shot for so long. Very happy to get that Typhon out of the way. Dropped an orbital strike on me, but this is the advantage of being a behemoth and not being, especially a behemoth with an armadillo. And all the kills I've had, you're going to need more than an orbital strike, buddy. Between the armadillo, the number of kills I've had, and the paladin mothership with the durability extender, You're going to have to get real close up on me. Another behemoth there, taking a couple chunks out of me with... I think those are the lasers. I don't think those are the non-LE prisms. I don't know how this Lynx got up there, but it's time to get serious. I can't keep sniping all day. They've got a beacon bar advantage. We just took a beacon advantage here. Not sure what the Lynx is going to attempt to do, but I've got Quantum Radar on this thing. Just not a great matchup for him. So now, we've got the Minos. They've got their... Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, if it dies too fast to talk about it. Let's see. We've got the Sirius, the Raven, and I guess a Falcon? An actual regular non-T Falcon. Maybe taking some shotgun shots right to my belly. It's an impressive thing, but it's gone. Don't see too many Falcons these days. Raven jumping away, doesn't want any part of this. And then another Falcon. I admire the dedication to a robot, but I'm not sure it's going to work in the meta, so I'll take that second Falcon kill. Man, it's been a bad day for birds, because... A Raven too? No, I don't get the Raven. Shucks. I wanted to add to my feather collection. So now you can see they're starting to mech. This is becoming an issue, and I just want to point out what you may have already thought through, because I'm going to beat this drum every time. We fought a lot at our home beacon. They were coming for the home beacon a lot. That's where we spent most of our time. Most of us anyway. A couple of us were going like just crazy, running up to their top beacon early on. But most of the fighting was on our home beacon. They were pressing, meeting resistance, and as they started to mech, they didn't have the people left to defend their stuff. Like, aggro is not always a good idea. If you're not much stronger, and they clearly weren't much stronger, aggro is just walking to be taken out. Like, play smart. Yeah, it's sad. He knows he can't do anything. Hey, a bulwark, just like my buddy, but not my buddy, so goodbye. I mean, this is just feeding at this point. I would not blame them if they didn't drop in. And that is the game. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. 7,014 kills and 1 beacon. Oh, they made me touch a beacon. I gotta wash my hands. And, second place, Alex Rogers, the real MVP, the guy who made it possible early on for my Reaper antics. So shout out once again to Alex. You're the real MVP. Thank you for playing this game as if it were a team game, not just running out there for yourself. Good looking out, man. I appreciate it. So, if you made it this far in the video, thank you. Honestly, thank you. If you're a dog or cat at home waiting for your parents to come back, I'm sure you're a good puppy or kitty. They're going to bring you a treat when they get back, and I will talk to all of you again real soon. Later.